So I have just got back from being at the university for 12 hours straight. Let's talk about some poison. Specifically, some toxins produced by algae blooms, more commonly known as the red tide. So this is an example of the red tide, which is a massive algae bloom caused by a couple specific microorganisms called dinoflagellates. So normally, the dinoflagellate algae are found at regular levels in the sea, ocean, whatever. They're usually not causing any problems. However, in certain environmental conditions, and I'm not entirely sure what they are, I don't actually know if anyone knows what they are, but under certain environmental conditions, they can cause an algae bloom. There are different types of algae blooms. The red tide is caused by one specific algae that produces the red color and all that, but there are different ones. None of them are good. And the reason for that is particularly the toxin produced by these guys that we're going to be talking about. So the very specific, very interesting toxin produced by these dinoflagellates is called saxitoxin. So saxitoxin is a type of neurotoxin, so what that means is it causes a lot of problems with your nervous system, which you need to function. So saxitoxin produced by these dinoflagellates is very toxic, and it works by blocking your sodium channels, which if you have done any neurobiology, like any brain and nervous system science, you know that those are important. So sodium channels are involved with action potentials, which I'm not going to go into that because it's pretty boring, but you do need those in order for your nerves to send signals throughout the body. If you don't have action potentials, you can't send signals, which means your nerves aren't nerving. And you do need your nerves to nerve, and when they don't do that, lots of problems arise. One of those being what is known as paralytic shellfish poisoning. So basically, you get paralyzed from eating contaminated shellfish, which is contaminated with the saxitoxin from the algae. So symptoms of saxitoxin poisoning include gastrointestinal issues such as nausea and diarrhea, as well as neurological issues like dizziness, headache, as well as muscle and body weakness, which can eventually lead to partial, full, or full paralysis, and in serious cases, even death. Now, most cases of human poisonings due to saxitoxin are not lethal. However, in high enough doses there are, and as of right now, there is no known cure for this. This also has a major impact on the environment because anything that ingests too much of the saxitoxin is going to die. There have even been records of organisms as large as humpback whales dying from too much of this shit. What's also interesting about this is its mechanisms of action is very similar to another toxin I talked about on here before, the tetrodotoxin, which is found in seafood like pufferfish. You want to go check that one out. I think it's another very interesting poison, but it works by similar mechanisms. So basically, if you see this, do not go anywhere near the water, and don't eat any seafood that has come from this general area, and be careful with seafood in general.